I installed a security camera in my bedroom 3 weeks ago because things kept going missing. My jewelry, my laptop charger, small things. I thought maybe I was sleepwalking or going crazy. Last night I reviewed the footage, and what I saw made my blood run cold. At 2:47 a.m., my bedroom door opened slowly. My father crept in. He walked to my bed, gently pressed his fingers to my wrist, checking my pulse. Then he just stood there, staring at me, tears streaming down his face. After 2 minutes, my mother appeared in the doorway. She whispered something I couldn't hear. My father nodded, wiped his eyes, and they both left. They've been doing this every night, for months, maybe years, and I had no idea. What I discovered when I confronted them would explain everything and break my heart. Stay with me. Because this story is about the moment you realize your parents have been carrying a secret so painful they can't even speak it out loud. Before we continue, if you've ever discovered your parents were hiding something to protect you, hit that subscribe button right now. Your support means everything to me. And comment below, have you ever caught your family doing something mysterious? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. Let me explain how I got to this point. My name is Sophie. I'm 24 years old, and I live with my parents in Portland, Oregon. I know. Living with parents at 24 sounds weird, but I'm saving money to buy my own place, and they insisted I stay rent-free. My parents, Linda and Robert, are quiet people, reserved. They've always been protective, but not in an overbearing way. Just attentive. About 2 months ago, I started noticing things going missing from my room. Small things. A bracelet, my favorite pen, my phone charger. I thought I was being forgetful, until my laptop charger disappeared and I knew I'd left it on my desk. "Mom, have you seen my laptop charger?" "No, sweetie. Did you check your bag?" "I left it on my desk." "Maybe you moved it and forgot." But I hadn't. I was sure of it. Then I thought maybe I was sleepwalking. I'd read about people doing strange things in their sleep. So 3 weeks ago, I bought a small security camera on Amazon, just a cheap one. I mounted it on my bookshelf, angled toward my bed and door. I didn't tell my parents. It felt weird to say, "Hey, I think I might be sleepwalking, so I'm recording myself." For the first week, nothing interesting happened. I slept. The room stayed empty. But then, last Tuesday night, I reviewed the footage from the previous evening, and I saw him, my father, opening my door at 2:47 a.m., moving quietly across my room, standing next to my bed. At first, I thought he was checking if I was home. Maybe he'd heard a noise and wanted to make sure I was safe. But then he reached out, gently, carefully, and pressed 2 fingers against my wrist, checking my pulse. He held his fingers there for about 30 seconds, just standing there, silent, still. Then his shoulders started shaking. He was crying. My mother appeared in the doorway, backlit by the hallway light. She said something I couldn't hear on the camera. My father nodded, wiped his face with his sleeve, and they both left. I watched the footage 3 times, unable to process what I was seeing. Why was my father checking my pulse? Why was he crying? I went back through the other nights of footage, and I found it. Night after night, same time, same routine. My father would come in, check my pulse. Sometimes he'd cry. Sometimes he'd just stand there watching me breathe. My mother would wait in the hallway, watching. Then after a few minutes, she'd gently touch his shoulder, and they'd leave together. They'd been doing this for weeks, probably longer, before I installed the camera. But why? I couldn't sleep the rest of that night. I kept thinking about my father's face. The tears. The way he looked at me like I might disappear. The next morning, I came downstairs for breakfast. My parents were at the kitchen table drinking coffee. Normal. Like nothing was wrong. "Morning, Sophie," my mother said with a smile. "Morning." I poured myself coffee. My hands were shaking. "You okay, honey?" my father asked. "You look tired." I turned to face them. "Why do you check my pulse every night?" The room went silent. My mother's coffee cup froze halfway to her mouth. My father's face went pale. "What?" my mother said quietly. I installed a security camera in my room. I've been watching the footage. You come in every night at 2:47 a.m. and check my pulse. Why? My parents looked at each other, a long, heavy look. Sophie! I don't want to sit down. I want answers. Please, Sophie, sit. I sat. My heart was pounding. My father took a deep breath. You had a twin sister. The world stopped. What? You had a twin sister, he repeated, his voice breaking. Her name was Sarah. I stared at him. This couldn't be real. I don't have a sister. You did. You were identical twins, born together, 24 years ago. My mother started crying. She died when you were 6 months old. I felt like I couldn't breathe. How? How did she die? SIDS, my father said. Sudden infant death syndrome. We put her down for a nap one afternoon, and when your mother went to check on her an hour later, she was gone. My mother covered her face with her hands, sobbing. We found her in her crib, my father continued, tears streaming down his face. Not breathing. We called 911, but it was too late. She was already gone. I couldn't process this. I had a twin sister who died? Yes. And you never told me? We didn't know how, my mother said through her tears. You were so young when it happened, and as you got older, it felt too painful to bring up. We didn't want to burden you with our grief. So you just erased her? Pretended she never existed? We didn't erase her, my father said. We think about her every day, but we didn't want you to grow up in the shadow of your dead sister. And the pulse checks? I asked. You've been checking if I'm alive? My father nodded, fresh tears falling. Every night since Sarah died. At first, we checked on you every hour. We were terrified, paranoid. We couldn't sleep unless we knew you were breathing. Over the years, we got better, my mother added. We went from checking every hour to just once a night, but we've never been able to stop completely. We need to know you're okay. For 24 years? You've been doing this for 24 years? Yes, my father whispered. I know it seems crazy, but after losing Sarah, we couldn't risk losing you too. I sat there trying to absorb this. I had a twin sister. She died, and my parents have been traumatized for over 2 decades. Why 2:47 a.m.? I asked. My parents looked at each other again. That's when we found her, my mother said quietly. 2:47 p.m. We always check on you at 2:47 a.m. because it's 12 hours from when we lost Sarah. The pain in her voice was unbearable. I spent the next few days in shock. Every time I looked at my parents, I saw their pain, the grief they'd been carrying for 24 years. I also felt angry. They'd kept this massive secret from me my entire life. I called my best friend Hannah. I need to talk to someone. Can I come over? Of course. What's wrong? I told her everything. The camera, the pulse checks, the twin sister I never knew existed. Hannah was speechless. Oh my God, Sophie, I can't believe they never told you. Neither can I. I had a sister, a twin sister, and I never knew. Are there pictures? I don't know. I haven't asked. You should. You deserve to see her. That evening, I approached my parents. They were in the living room watching TV, but they both looked hollow, empty. Can I see pictures of her? Of Sarah? My mother's eyes filled with tears immediately. Of course. She led me to their bedroom. From the closet, she pulled out a large photo album, covered in dust. We sat on their bed, and she opened it. The first photo was of 2 babies, identical. Same face, same eyes, same everything. That's you on the left, my mother said, her voice shaking. Sarah on the right. I stared at the photo, at my sister, my identical twin. We look exactly the same. You were impossible to tell apart. We had to paint one toenail on each of you different colors. You were pink. Sarah was blue. My mother turned the page. More photos. 2 babies in matching outfits. 2 babies being held by my parents, who looked so young and happy. This was at your baptism. You were 3 months old. Another page. The babies were bigger now, maybe 5 months old. This was Halloween. We dressed you both as pumpkins. I could see the joy in my parents' faces in these photos. They were happy, complete. Then the photos stopped. "That's the last picture we took," my mother said, pointing to a photo of the two of us in matching Christmas pajamas. 2 weeks before she died. I traced my finger over Sarah's face, my face. She looked happy, healthy, alive. What was she like? My mother smiled through her tears. "She was quieter than you. You were the loud one." My father appeared in the doorway. "You okay?" "No," my mother said. "But I need to do this. Sophie deserves to know about her sister." My father sat down next to us. We looked through the rest of the album together. Baby photos, first smiles, first bath, 2 babies who should have grown up together, but didn't. "I'm so sorry," I said quietly. "For what?" my father asked. "For being the one who survived. You must resent me." "No," my father said firmly. "Never. Sophie, you are not a replacement for Sarah. You are your own person. We love you for you, but yes, we miss her. We'll always miss her." "Do you ever wish I was her instead?" My mother grabbed my hand. "Absolutely not. We are grateful every day that we have you, but losing Sarah broke something in us, something that never fully healed. That's why you check my pulse. Yes, we're terrified of losing you too. I know it's irrational. You're not a baby anymore, but the fear never goes away." Over the next few weeks, my parents slowly opened up about Sarah, about their grief, about the trauma. My mother told me about the day it happened. "It was a beautiful afternoon, October 15th. You and Sarah had just woken up from your morning nap. I fed you both. You were happy, babbling, playing. Around 2 p.m., you both started getting fussy, tired, so I put you down for another nap. I put you in your crib first. You fell asleep immediately. Then I put Sarah in her crib, right next to yours. I went downstairs to fold laundry. Your father was at work. I remember feeling happy, content, like I had everything I'd ever wanted. An hour later, I came back upstairs to check on you. You were awake, playing with your feet. But Sarah..." She stopped, unable to continue. "She was so still, too still. I knew immediately something was wrong. I picked her up and she was cold. I screamed, called 911, started CPR like they'd taught me in the parenting class. But it was too late. She was already gone." My father took over the story. "I was in a meeting at work when the hospital called. They said there'd been an emergency, that I needed to come immediately. I drove 90 miles per hour to get there. The whole way I was praying, begging God to let my family be okay. When I got to the hospital, I saw your mother's face, and I knew, before anyone said anything, I knew Sarah was gone. They let us hold her, one last time. She looked so peaceful, like she was just sleeping, but she was cold. We had to leave her there, drive home with just you. Your mother held you the entire way home, just held you and cried." My mother continued. "The next few weeks were a blur. Funeral arrangements, people bringing casseroles, everyone saying they were sorry. But the worst part was the fear. Every time you slept, I was terrified you'd die too. I'd check on you constantly, put my hand under your nose to feel your breath, touch your chest to feel your heartbeat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I just watched you, making sure you kept breathing. Your father started checking on you too. We'd take shifts. One of us would sleep while the other watched you. That went on for months. Our friends said we needed therapy, that we were traumatized, but we couldn't stop. The fear was too strong. Even as you got older, we couldn't stop checking. By the time you were 5, we'd reduced it to once a night, but we never stopped completely. My father said, "We know it's not healthy. We know we should have gotten help, but admitting we needed help felt like admitting Sarah's death broke us, and we didn't want to be broken." "But you are broken," I said gently. "And that's okay. What happened to Sarah was traumatic. You lost a child. That kind of pain doesn't just go away." My mother nodded. "We know. We should have processed it properly, but we didn't. And now here we are, 24 years later, still checking your pulse every night. I insisted my parents start therapy, together and individually. You need professional help, I told them. You've been living with this trauma for over 2 decades. It's time to process it properly. My mother resisted at first. We're fine. You're not fine. You check your adult daughter's pulse every night because you're terrified she'll die in her sleep. That's not fine. My father agreed. She's right, Linda. We need help. They found a therapist who specializes in grief and trauma. They started going twice a week. I also started therapy because learning I had a dead twin sister was traumatic in its own way. How do you feel about Sarah? My therapist asked. I don't know. Sad that I never knew her. Angry that my parents kept her a secret. Confused about who I am without her. What do you mean? That's a normal question to ask. But remember, you can't live in the world of what if. You can only live in reality. I know, but it's hard not to wonder. Over the next few months, my parents made progress in therapy. They started talking about Sarah more openly, sharing memories, crying together, and slowly they started letting go of some of their fear. Our therapist suggested we try going 2 nights without checking on you, my father said one evening. And? It was hard. We both barely slept. But we did it. I'm proud of you. We're trying, Sophie. We know we can't keep doing this forever. I know, and I appreciate that you're working on it. My mother said, we're also going to put up some photos of Sarah, around the house. We've kept her hidden for too long. The next week, a framed photo appeared on the mantel. The picture of Sarah and me in matching Christmas pajamas. Every time I walked past it, I felt a strange mix of sadness and connection. This was my sister, my twin, the person I should have grown up with. I also started researching SIDS, learning about the risk factors, the prevention methods, the statistics. It happens to about 1 in 1,000 babies, I told my parents. You couldn't have prevented it. You didn't do anything wrong. We know that intellectually, my mother said, but emotionally, we still feel responsible. That's the grief talking, not reality. We know. It's been 6 months since I discovered the footage, 6 months since I learned about Sarah. My parents are still in therapy. They've made significant progress. They now go 3 or 4 nights without checking my pulse. It's hard, my father admits, but we're learning to trust that you're okay. I am okay, Dad. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I know, but old fears die hard. My mother has started volunteering with a SIDS support group, helping other parents who've lost babies. It helps to talk to people who understand, she tells me, people who don't judge me for checking your pulse for 24 years. That's good, Mom. I'm proud of you. I've also connected with other SIDS siblings, people who lost brothers or sisters to SIDS. There's a whole community online, people who understand the unique grief of losing a sibling you barely knew. I feel like I'm grieving someone I never met, I told one support group. That's valid, a woman named Emma said. I lost my twin brother to SIDS. I was 3 months old. I didn't know him, but I still feel the loss, like a part of me is missing. Exactly, like there should be someone there, but there isn't. You're not alone in feeling that way. It helps to talk to people who understand. Last week was October 15th, the 24th anniversary of Sarah's death. For the first time, my parents invited me to visit her grave. I'd never been before. I didn't even know where she was buried. We drove to a cemetery about 30 minutes away. In the children's section, there was a small headstone. Sarah Marie Turner, April 3rd, October 15th, our angel. I stood there, staring at my sister's name, my twin's name. Hi, Sarah, I said quietly. I'm Sophie, your sister. I'm sorry I never visited before. I didn't know about you. My mother put her arm around me. She would have loved you. I wish I'd known her. So do we. We stood there together, a family grieving a daughter and sister taken too soon. Before we left, I placed flowers on her grave, daisies, because my mother said they were Sarah's favorite when we were babies. I'll come back, I promised. I won't let you be forgotten. I still live with my parents, But now I understand why they insisted I stay. It's not about saving money, it's about keeping me close, where they can see me. Know I'm safe. I don't mind anymore, because I understand the fear that drives them. They lost a child, in the most sudden, unexpected way possible, and they've spent 24 years trying to make sure they don't lose another. I'm working on moving out eventually, but I'm doing it slowly, preparing my parents, helping them adjust. We'll be okay, my mother assures me. We can't hold on to you forever. I know, but there's no rush. The security camera is still in my room, but now I check the footage differently. Some nights, I see my father creeping in, checking my pulse, and instead of being creeped out, I feel sad. Sad for the pain he's carried, sad for the daughter he lost. I also see progress. Some nights he comes to my door but doesn't come in. He just stands there for a moment, then leaves. Baby steps. I'm Sophie Turner. I'm 24 years old. I'm alive and healthy. And I had a twin sister named Sarah who died when we were 6 months old. For 24 years, I didn't know she existed. But now I do, and I carry her memory with me. My parents check my pulse at night because they're traumatized by a loss they've never fully processed. It's not creepy, it's not controlling, it's love. Complicated, painful, desperate love, and I understand it now. If you've lost someone, please get help. Don't carry the grief alone for decades like my parents did. Talk to someone, process it, heal. Because unprocessed trauma doesn't disappear. It just manifests in midnight pulse checks and 24 years of fear. Sarah is gone, but she's not forgotten. Not anymore. And my parents are finally learning to let go of the fear that's controlled them for so long. It's a slow process, but we're getting there, together. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.